When did you first realize that Crystalline had a mental illness?
It first started showing up around 13, but we didn't know then. Maybe around 16.
Was it hard to deal with when she was diagnosed with bipolar 1?
Well, she already had been having symptoms earlier, like from the manic times where she had to walk constantly and would ask to get out of the car before we got home so she could walk home, and then to the opposite when she couldn't even get off the couch from the depression part. And she was having like 3 mini nervous breakdowns a day finally before we got her to the hospital.
When did you first realize that I had a mental illness?
8th grade, also, I think in October.
Was it hard for you when I was diagnosed with bipolar 2 and when I was hospitalized?
Yes, because you wanted to kill yourself, which if Crystalline did, she never said that to us.
Did you ever blame yourself for what happened to Crystalline and me?
I guess I did for Crystalline, but by the time we knew it was a genetic thing, then I don't think I blamed myself too much by the time it hit you.
Did you always know that you were bipolar?
I kind of figured it out when I was like 12 years old. I didn't know what it was called at the time, but I realized that something was up. So before that, I was just a really weird kid who didn't like to go to sleep and was extremely emotionally explosive.
How did being diagnosed with bipolar 1 affect you?
I felt relieved and kind of vindicated. It meant that finally I was right. I wasn't a terrible, horrible child or a terrible, horrible daughter or a terrible, horrible student. I was just sick. And it meant that I could get treatment and can get better and couldn't get yelled at for that kind of stuff. It wasn't things I could control.
When did you realize that I was mentally ill?
You always really had high anxiety, but I didn't know if that was actually considered mental illness or if that was just a part of who you were. I think the signs really started showing when you were about 13. Yeah.
Was it hard for you when I was hospitalized?
It was extremely hard for me. In fact, it kind of triggered flashbacks, and I stopped having, it got to the point where I couldn't go and visit you anymore because it kept on making me remember the first time I was hospitalized, and it was making me really sick inside. And it wasn't because I didn't love you, just I couldn't do that.